So let's check out this MacBook Pro. I picked it up for 70 euros. The seller said he didn't know if it boots or not because he can't try it, he doesn't have a power supply. So maybe I got a great deal, or maybe I didn't. It would suck if it had a broken motherboard because that would basically total it. But maybe, who knows, maybe I'm lucky. Just from a first glance, it's missing these screws here. It doesn't have a hard drive also, which isn't a big deal. I mean, I have some laying around. Let's see what's hiding under here. The latch, we got a battery which is not swollen, that's good, but it's probably not the best anymore. And I don't see any screws holding in this piece, so I think I can just basically take it off. Yes. And in here, we got an unhooked optical drive. We can fix that. At least I think I can. Maybe the connector has a problem. No, it's back in, but it's very loose. To make this a good permanent fix, you need like a tape around it. But other than that, everything looks okay from the looks of it. It's not too dirty. It's in fact a really similar MacBook Pro I showed you, where I did the overheating fix, which this probably does as well need. But before we do any of this, we of course want to know if it actually boots, because that's important. And also the rest of the computer looks pretty good. I mean, it could need a wipe, but all the keys are here. Screen isn't cracked, at least not from the outside. It's got a little ding here and a little one here, but given that this is a couple of years old, you know, it's alright. So let's see what we got. See if we're lucky. Got your MagSafe 1 power supply. Let's see if it, we got a light which is red, so that means it's charging. So if I press the power button, will it boot? We got a, yeah, it boots. It's good signal from the monitor. No crack or anything. It's dirty as hell, but that's fine. And something is in the optical drive, so maybe an operating system disk, who knows? Yep, missing Finder, missing folder, sorry. Yeah, missing Finder also, it doesn't have a Finder on here. But that's good, that's what I want to see. Well, we got a Windows 7 disk. Well, that's good. I mean, I got plenty of them myself, but nevertheless, Windows 7, 32-bit, Service Pack 1 even. Awesome. Found here a disk which says 10.13, although I think it doesn't have a Mac on here. Now also 10.13 wouldn't boot on here anyway, because it's way too old. But you can hack it, no problem. We'll in fact install Catalina. Yes, but we have to make a USB for that, so yeah, I'm gonna work on that in the meantime. Well, I now know the cause why this can't get seated properly. That's because somebody has kind of bent in all of these little hooks too much that would go under here, the aluminium, and so that's why we can't get it in there properly, which I don't really know why he did that, but he did it. We'll have to fix his issue. Maybe now it's gonna work. And yeah, I didn't screw in the hard disk, I know. Just chill for the moment, please. Yes. Just a little bit of bending it back and everything's good. So now, well, it's still not perfect. I mean, I can't get it as perfect as Apple would. But it's looking way better already. And it doesn't fly off, so That's a plus. Let's see if it boots, but there's probably no chance. Yes, it is indeed a 10.13 volume, and that's good, but it's not gonna boot on this guy. You want to try it still? Yes, that's what I've been waiting for. It's forbidden to run this OS on here. But oh wait. So what is the further process we're gonna do with this old MacBook? Well, for now I will install an operating system on it. I will here, of course, just go full out with the latest Catalina, currently creating the bootable USB for it. Then I'm gonna test it a bit, and I'll probably buy a cheap SSD for it, like the Intenso ones I always use for computers I refurbish. Well, calling it refurbish is kind of pushing it, but kind of, you know, keeping it going, fixing it for somebody else who can maybe get a couple of more years use out of it. So I can finally continue with the MacBook here. I created the USB drive. It failed 2 times with a different stick, so I just was pissed off and just left it. And now, I think 2 days later or so, we can finally install an operating system. So yeah, let's do that. Let's hope it works smoothly. The optical drives always sound pretty bad in these. They're always shot. After all, these things are getting older and older. EFI boot. Good. So now we just wait. That's all we have to do. Wait and install. So guys, we got here a little progress. The computer is still fully working. It's called OS X El Capitan, but it is 10.15. I just formatted the hard disk, so now we can install this thing. And according to the creator, DOSDude1, who does all these cool patches, he said you don't need to do anything. The patches will be automatically applied for your system with the reboot. So, well, that's awesome. Really, really nice. I think it's probably gonna take quite a while with this hard disk on this old system. So I'm just gonna leave it. Gotta do other things anyway today, and I don't really remember, but I think you have to reboot once into the USB again, or not, or does it do everything itself? I don't really remember that honestly, but we will see. Hopefully it doesn't fail. There's nothing majorly wrong with the computer so far, I figured out, but the trackpad is kind of needs hard push to get recognized. So I think when you enable tap to click, then it's completely gone fine again, because I always prefer the tap to click, but I know a lot of people want the real click. But if I want to move this, you have to kind of press really hard down on it. I don't know, maybe I just cleaned off and it's good again, maybe it's failing, who knows, we will see. Maybe it's just an installer, I don't know. But the keyboard is in really nice condition. It again needs a clean, I will do that of course later. The casing is fine. I made a pretty good deal with this guy. I'm probably just gonna order another cheap SSD and restore it and clean it and yeah, flip it. So this is my plan. Hopefully everything goes according to plan with this patch thing, but the Mojave patcher was already so nice and straightforward, and this is supposed to be even easier, so yeah, really, really nice. Thank God these people still exist to do this. And here we are, a couple of hours later. The MacBook runs, but it still has a ton of issues. It's still got problems. It's far from being a perfect laptop still, even though
As you can see, it has a operating system on it, a unsupported by Apple operating system. And now I can finally show you the specifications. It's a 15-inch late 2008. It's I think the exact same I had some months ago. 2.4 gigahertz Core 2 Duo, only 2 gigabytes of RAM. The 9600M graphics card. And yeah, unfortunately though, the hard disk I put in is failing, and I figured that out by installing DriveDX and let it run some testing. As you can see, it's failing, which is not good. Now, it installed forever and ever and ever. I thought it just froze, but I let it sit for some hours and it installed. The setup process is really, it was unbearably slow. The whole laptop is very, very, very slow. Just watch this. And it's sure, the 2 gigabytes of RAM are not helping at all, but this failing hard drive is, I think, the major issue here. Yeah, it just doesn't react to anything you do. It is pretty bad. Now, I already took some measures here. I ordered a cheap SSD, the ones I always use in these computers I repair, the Intenso 120 gig. It's less than 20 euros, and it should speed this thing up nicely and actually get it running okay again. Just maybe not super fast because it's only got 2 gigabytes of RAM, but at least free of troubles, free of errors and freezing, and just right now it's not usable at all. Like, it boots up in 5 minutes. The program response time is awful. It's an awful user experience. But other than the hard disk I put in, everything's working. And so, still got some hardware problems too that are really not the computer related stuff. It's more like the case related stuff, because it doesn't have any screws here at the bottom. Because it doesn't have any screws in the bottom, the only thing that holds this together and keeps it from falling apart is this little latch, or the latch mechanism. So if I open this latch, everything will just fall out, including the hard drive, because that's also just laid in. So that also needs to be taken care of, which I'm not looking forward to, because I don't think I have any screws for it. Why do the people always throw these screws away, or how do you always lose these screws? I mean, what the hell? I mean, they're not even like proprietary screws. But what the hell do I know? I tested all the ports work. Keyboard, everything's good. Screen's looking beautiful. Just the hard disk is just on its way out. And that's how it probably made its way into my hard drive collection, from probably a broken laptop at one point. So, update on the Macbook Pro. I now have an SSD in it, 128 gig cheap SSD, and I already installed the operating system, and it performs so much faster. You don't believe it. And I wrote on here, failing, because obviously you don't want that in any computer. I'll probably just throw it away. About the RAM though, these 2 gigabytes perform surprisingly good. I expected still kind of long loading times and stuff. However, when you open up more than 2 programs, it's not enough. So I tracked down this laptop I still had. This is a parts laptop for exactly for stuff like this, and I still have here a 4 gigabyte module, DDR3. So what I'll do is I'll take out these 2 1 gig sticks, so that brings my collection of 1 gigabyte DDR3 modules to I think 6 in total, because you can never really do anything with them.
useful. But who knows? You know, throwing him away would be a waste. But I'm gonna give it this 4 GB because it makes it so much more valuable and more usable than with 2 gigs of RAM. But as you see, I mean, the boot time wasn't bad. The response time is still okay. I mean, obviously, it's not the greatest SSD in the world you can get. And so, yeah, nevertheless, we got here a very old Mac running Catalina. Pretty good, even with 2 GB of RAM. There is the Intenso. And I still need to kind of attach it properly. And then we also have, of course, the non-screwed in plate, so that also still needs fixing. But the good thing is here, I can take that out. And yeah, I might as well just remove the battery because, yeah, you shouldn't touch the components when the battery is still plugged in. And it's pretty easy on these machines, as you can see. This is for once not swollen, so great. Great stuff. From the inside, it's pretty clean, so that's good. There we have one Samsung 1 GB and another one down there. You know, it has 4 GB. Yeah. So I just installed both 1 GB modules in the parts laptop. I had second thoughts about putting one in here. I'm not gonna do it, so I'll just put it in here, and I have more 1 GB modules. But yeah, it's not like I'm getting some super crazy value by adding this 1 gig, so I might as well put it in here, which doubles its RAM. I'm never really sure how this door really works. The hell? I'm gonna do that later. Or not at all. So I'm using Apple's idea of mounting stuff here with tape. Now I'm not being as annoying as they are with their pull tabs in the iPhones, but they're proud of me. I used their awesome idea of gluing something in. Yeah, and now it's in there, and in there it will stay. It's good. Now that's again a great thing about SSDs. You don't have to worry about vibrations or fear like that it could like bang around in there, because it's solid state. You know, it doesn't matter if it does all it is. So SSDs are really probably my favorite piece of technology that has caught on in the past years. It's such a great technology. You know, a lot of stuff has happened that I don't like soldering everything together and stuff. This is a laptop from a time where the stuff was still modular, like RAM, like SSD or a hard drive, battery. Now it's all together. But SSDs, I think they're a great trend, and everybody should use them. So yeah, that sums it up from the inside. Let's put the battery back in. Give it a little wipe off here. Could have done it better. It's installed. That's good. Let's put the plate back on after I clean it a bit. And now I gotta find some screws. That is probably a very hard task. So guys, and that concludes here our MacBook video. I'm just gonna show you the final product. I cleaned it. Looks pretty good. I got the major scratches and stuff polished out. Like, just use an eraser. It does wonders. For example, this is a pretty deep scratch. This isn't gonna go away, unfortunately. And also this here, but the rest, well, it really looked worse, especially when you fold it up. Look at that screen. Like it's so perfect. It was all dirty and with a lot of fingerprints all over it, and now it's really clean. I don't want to touch it. I always use a microfiber cloth to wipe these glossy screens off, and it just makes him look brand new. I mean, if you look at this, if you glance at it for a second, this could be a brand new machine. But when you take a deeper look at it, you see there is a little dent, although it's really not all that bad. Another ding right there, although it's really not a big deal as well. But the keyboard is in excellent condition. All the keys work. The trackpad, got it back working normally. Probably was the big layer of dust and crap all over it that made it kind of unresponsive. Now it's back to normal. Or maybe it was a software issue too, but I doubt that. And from the side, looks also good. From the other side, where the ports are, everything good. So yeah, like the only bad side of it is the underside. It's like one of these cars, you know, where they all look shiny and great from the outside, but the moment you kind of pull them up on a lift, you discover all the issues. It's a similar thing here. You got here this where you can see the alignment is just all fucked up, but that's because I had to bend all of these latches back out, as you saw, and so now it goes at least back in its position, but it's not perfect, as you can see. Also, it's missing a ton of screws. I only found one here. Yes, that's very ghetto, but unfortunately I don't have another one that works. Even this is also not good. The feet though are in surprisingly good condition, so it doesn't slide around. But yeah, the underside could be better, but yeah, the rest of it is looking in beautiful shape. It's awesome how it came out. I didn't think at first that I can get it restored as nice as this. Also with the latest operating system, so smoothly running. So just gonna show it to you here. 10.15 Catalina again, all updated and ready to be used. Backlight keyboard also works. Everything working on this machine. So if you can deal with a couple of cosmetic problems, this can be still a very useful computer for a lot of people. It's surprisingly powerful for its age. You know, also web browsing is very smooth. Now with the 4 GB of RAM, it's no problem anymore. And maybe you could even like edit 1 or 2 little videos on it using iMovie or something. So yeah, I'm glad how it turned out, and I hope the next owner will have fun with it and be happy. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.